Chat. As you can see, Lou and I are doing our hair. Okay, I'm done. Yo,
Oh,
I like it, man. That's cool. I remember I was trying to be funny, and I when they first came out, they was kind of big, and I grabbed my mom's one, and I went to go do some shit to my hair. Thought I was being funny, and I burnt the shit out of the top of my ear.
oh.
It was
You
so
learned real
sore.
quick, didn't you?
And my mom was like, "That's what you get for touching stuff." And I was like, "Oops." Yo, that was like the worst freaking pain ever. And for the longest time, it took a long time to heal because it's so close to the cartilage. And like when I would
Hmm.
comb my hair or brush my hair, or you try to sleep and you smash it. So yeah, don't burn your ear, dog. That's like real stupid. That's real
Those are
stupid.
like women lessons we learn early.
Yeah, yeah. See, well, dudes, we too stupid to know that. I, I was like, bruh, that's why I don't mess with my mom and them stuff when I was a little kid no more. That's all I needed that one time.
That
The
one time, that was
the
it.
the old school joints, they had this thing, and I don't even know how to describe it. It was like a little thing like this. It was kind of round, and you put the iron inside, and there was like a
To heat
flame in
it.
there to
Yeah.
heat it up. And you took it out, and it was like clink clink. And I used to just like clap the little steel together because it was like pinchers, like in the Space Monsters. You ever see they had the pinchers? So I just be like clack 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 clack. My mom would snatch it out of my hand and then right upside the head. Stop messing with that. You're gonna
Doc, you
break
look
it.
like you have a filter on because you look so skinty. Like you came on and I was like, who is this? Why do you have a filter? No, it's the shots. It's the shots, right? Like you're
Yeah,
taking care of yourselves.
yeah. I'm going in tomorrow for my update, and then it's doing. Yo, Marche, what is up? She's glad to be here. Sorry, I had to. I had to. Good to see you, fam. What's up, Kevin? Gotta go live with the curly. You know what it is, Kev. Hey, how's the golf thing coming, Mister Kevin? Holla at your peoples. Let us know. Uh,
What? I think we're there. I think that's as good as it's gonna get.
okay, so
Mm,
first of all,
yes.
my little sister, she hits me up the other day, and
Mhm.
she's like, I don't know why, but Instagram just wanted me to see this reel that you made about making a cat helmet.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah. And then she goes, okay, I want one. And I was like, you shit. And of course, like me, she's a Star Wars person. So
So it's Darth Vader, or is it? Oh, wait, it's a Mandalorian.
the Mandalorian. And then Mochi's going to stick the little head out like that.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
I was like, oh my God, why? Why is my 3D printer becoming a cat helmet printing center?
You need like a Labubu head.
Oh my God. Yo, that would just be, ugh. I'm not trying to get sued by the boo boo. Um, uh, I'll get some more art detail. There you go. There you go. Kevin is working on his thing. Yeah. So I did update from my camera's failing and acting a fool and being whatever.
And he
So
won't
I
say it's Mercury retrograde.
oh Jesus Christ, the planets cannot fly backwards, Mary Lou, and all the
No,
people
okay,
who
so
believe
listen,
that shit.
it's not the backwards, okay? So do you know like when you spin a top, right?
Yes.
When you spin a top, it's spinning. Does
Yes.
it keep going forward or does it spin like this sometimes? Like,
Well, yeah, the reason why it does what you're saying, which is like wobble on
mm-hmm,
its axis, because as the speed gets slower, its center of gravity gets more heavy loaded at the top. A planet
uh-huh,
spins at the same time always. What you're looking at is an ellipse. And when you look at an ellipse from a distance, because when we say orbit, I think people think orbits are complete circles. Even the Earth does not orbit in a complete store, but it
mm-hmm,
orbits in a torus. So when you get to the top of the torus, three-dimensionally looking across, what you see is something that visually looks like it's going backwards. But you must know at the speed that a planet travels, it is impossible to go backwards. It is not changing its orbit on its axis. It is not warbling. It is just because you're looking at a torus through a lens that is made up from a bunch of lens elements. It is an optical illusion, just like when
Okay,
I give you the
that's
finger.
fine. That's fine if it's an optical illusion, but astrology is studying patterns. Okay, so that's just their word to describe that particular pattern.
Astrology is some made
Mm-hmm.
up bullshit.
Okay.
Astronomy is based on facts. So
Okay.
at 47.4 kilometers per second, aka 106,000 miles an hour, it doesn't matter if the pattern appears to be going backwards. It is not going backwards. Appearance is nothing. There's a dude walking around appears to act like a president, but he's an absolute dipshit. So appearance is nothing. I mean, it's perception, but yeah. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
these people, these people.
But I mean, like, reality's not real anyway. So, like, we could all, I've
Oh,
been
now
seeing the
you on the
Matrix stuff. Like, we
simulation?
don't even
Not
want to get into this.
Mary Lou is like we're living in a simulation, y'all.
It's not real. None of it's real. It's all, it's all fake. We're all, I fabricated everything that exists right here, right now.
There you go.
Everything's an idea. Everything's,
I'm gonna send
nothing's
you.
real, but
I'm gonna
everything's
send
real.
you
You know what I mean?
the Neil deGrasse Tyson answers about Mercury's in retrograde. It's because it's funny, and I don't know why people started believing that stuff. But I tell you, the reason why I think people believe that,
Mm-hmm.
and this has a lot to do with being a creator as well. It is so easy. This goes for astrology, astronomy people. They're on the same list as religiosity people. They're on the same list as, you know, Taylor Swift fans, right? It's easier to put the responsibility on something else than accept responsibility that you are in control of your destiny. And so one of the key precepts in the whole I was telling you about, you know, the courage to be disliked is that even trauma is not real. And that's a very scary statement when you think about it. Because we know people who have been quote unquote, you know, traumatized or in what we would call traumatized. And so their reaction to it is to develop stronger sensibilities. And then there's other people who have been traumatized, and their reaction to it is to remain traumatized. Their reaction to it is to remain a victim no matter what. We have people in this country right now who have never thought where their next meal is coming from, who are feeling traumatized because other people are now allowed to have the same shot that they had. And they're doing everything in their power to stop it. With a 440-year head start, they feel like they're now being cheated because they're getting caught up. You see, so that's not the same trauma as somebody who was, you know, beat by their ill parent every day, but in their head, it's the same thing. In their head, like the others are coming for me. You know what I mean? So trauma is basically, according to Adlerian psychology, and I'm always on Viktor Frankl, it's not the stimulus, it's the reaction. The stimulus to me, the stimulus is getting knocked down. My reaction is get the fuck back up. But some people's reaction to getting knocked down is, oh my God, he tripped me. So what is it? Like which one you want? I'm gonna pick the get up. The get up is better. And that's on me. If somebody help me up, is dependent on somebody else. And so I can always be a victim if nobody comes by and pulls me up. So I prefer the former as opposed to the latter. And Rich said we
Do
are all
you
prompts.
do you um let me rephrase. How do you feel about the concepts of everything is vibration?
Well, uh, scientifically, this is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because a waveform in itself is a form of vibration. Just because you can't feel it because your range of temporal vibrations or the things that you can actually feel is different from what's actually out there. For instance, how do you clean jewelry? In the ultrasonic cleaner, right? You can't hear that, but that doesn't mean that that wave doesn't exist. It's called ultrasonic because you can't hear it. But when you put the jewelry in there and you see the vibrations and the bubbles come out and the dirt disconnect out your chain, you know it's working, right? So we have ultrasound in order to see a youngin when they're still, in the belly. So yeah, there's vibrations and everything. Like, and strangely enough, again, this also messes with people. Do you know that the waveform that allows you to hear me talking shit right now, and the waveform that you use to heat your burger, and the waveform that you just use to change the light in your office is the same waveform? Most people can't wrap their head around that because I can see one and I can hear one, and there's one that's allowing the Wi-Fi to work in your house. It's all the same waveform at different amplitudes. A waveform is simply up and down, and depending on how it amplitudes, it's bass, treble, mid-range, microwave, theta wave, delta wave. It's all the same wave. So yeah, everything is vibration. That's how it works.
Right. Okay, cool. So then follow up with frequencies then, like, so your frequency conceptually, okay, because you're the get up, you get knocked down, you're gonna get back up. Conceptually, because your frequency
Well, that's because
is
of the song.
Right? Okay. Then some people's frequency is less forward pushing, right? So like, from what I understand, right? Like with frequency in sound, from what you've taught me, right? So when there's more frequent up and down,
High frequency.
is that louder?
No,
like if we're
that's treble.
like to something kind of tangible.
No, that's treble. Loudness comes from the height or the amplitude of the frequency. So that's why the thing that you put on the guitar when Will puts it in, that's an amplifier.
Yes.
Right? So amplitude is just the height. But the how fast it's moving where the waves are closer together. So this is high frequency, whereas this is low frequency. Right? When the line looks like that, high frequency, low frequency, that is bass versus treble.
Okay, I think I don't understand. Which is bass and which is treble?
Bass is low frequency. Treble is high frequency.
Oh, okay. So those are just like, so they're both frequency.
There's always, it's like everything is frequency.
Yes. Okay. So energetically as people, right?
Yes.
If you're more motivated, right?
Motivation is bullshit.
Probably a high frequency, right? Your concept, because you are a high frequency type of person. That's why you perceive it that way.
No.
Right?
No, that's not a frequency though. That's different. So feelings and things like that, those aren't really, I mean, okay, if we're going to be real brass tacks about it, they are frequencies because they're brain waves, right? But those choices that are made are choices that are made based on education in some sense, nurture, nature versus nurture. It's never a nature's virtue. It's a combination of both, right? If you have some sort of debilitation that doesn't allow you to vertically ambulate, you getting up is not the same. You might have the motivation in your terminology to get up, but that motivation is different from I read a book and said, let's go. That's a different form of motivation, right? Motivation is the want to change stasis, regardless of what that is. Okay, so if you take a seed and the seed wants to become a plant, that seed has a motivation to become a plant. That seed is not living in the sense of sentient the way we think of it. There is just, I need to come out of this exoderm and then poke through the soil and reach the sunlight. But there's no thought processing in it.
It's not a choice.
That's an ethereal mechanical situation that just happens,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that still would be motivated. A ice cube is motivated to return to liquid, and the liquid is motivated to return to gas, because at the end of the day, that liquid is both hydrogen and oxygen, and its goal is to get back to the state that it's in. So even as people, our stasis is to get back to raw carbon, which is why we grow, we age, we deteriorate, we die, and we return to carbon. Right? When you take a piece of metal and you formulate it into the shape of a weight, York 45 kilograms, and then it starts rusting through oxidation, it is working its way back to the raw element that it came from. Nothing stays in the state that it was originally placed in. It's always decaying back to where it came from. Right? And so what happens is, when you get this opportunity to be vertical, self-ambulating, self-sentient,
What's
self-motivated,
self-ambulating? What's that?
and walking. You can
Okay.
move. You can move from place to place freely.
Mm-hmm.
So you technically have the freedom to go wherever you want. You choose the boundaries set by your government. You choose the boundaries set by your environment. You choose the boundaries set by your financial situation. You choose these boundaries. Because everyone can say, well, no, so poor people didn't choose to be poor. There was a point in the system. System's not completely dope. Let's not get correct. The system is effed up. But even if you went to PS 132, the shittiest school in the nation, you still got handed those books. And there's kids that come out of PS 1. I just made the number up, by the way. There's kids that come out of PS 132 who then in turn go to Brooklyn Polytechnic, who then in turn end up running the Hayden Space Center. Neil went to the same shitty New York public school as the rest of us, but he chose to study more than they gave at school. And now he's known as one of the most brilliant people in the planet. He is the modern day Einstein, right? But there's other kids that grew up in Brooklyn exactly like them, that based off of their tutelage chose, I'm going to be a hood rat. I'm going to take my situation and I'm going to live here and I'm going to blame the man, and I can't do nothing about it. This is the cards I'm dealt with, so I'm going to play these cards or cheat these cards or do whatever. Right? That thing in the beginning, up until you're about 20, maybe your parents was like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. But once you turn 21, according to the legal system, it's probably more like 18. You make a decision to stay where you at, or you make a decision to leave. I, not better than anybody else, but I chose to leave. I knew that my environment was not going to allow me to become the person that I wanted to be, because I was really good at thugging, but I was also really good at studying. And so I made a choice: keep thugging or study. So I left, and I couldn't afford to go to the school I wanted to go to. And so the Army offered me a way out. You know, football offered me a way out. But I know this is crazy. This is super crazy now that I think about it. I went to basic training.
I love super crazy.
All right. So stick with me. I went to basic training, and then I came back to finish my high school. And when I was done, when I graduated, I had an opportunity to make that decision right now. Continue my Army service, go make up an excuse to get out, and then go play football at East Carolina. Right? Because that was the school that most wanted me to come and play. Right before I went to basic training, somebody that I knew had got injured and basically blown out, but they didn't have the grades to keep playing football. So I was like, yo, if I had my ankle broken prior, so I was like, if my ankle breaks again and I can't play football, the school will discard me. They're bringing me in on this free scholarship and they're going to use me to make them win trophies. We didn't have what we have now where name likeness, that they have now, right? You were just a pawn in the game. So I was like, chances of me actually making the NFL, cockily, 100%. Reality, not really 100%. I was fast, but I was kind of light in the ass for a safety, right? Based off of my size, I'm small for a football player. I was quick, but as a safety, I was like, best I could do is end up special teams on a kickoff return just because I was fast. So I said, military, I will get the education, I will go to med school, I'll become a doctor, and that's better option if you're looking at raw facts. I chose the military option. I finished basic training. I am sitting in the break room at my first official duty cycle. And one of my homeboys from my neighborhood, who everybody, if you research this on Google, who everybody will tell you was better than Michael Jordan, died the day after he got drafted by the Celtics. So I'm like, I made the right choice. Because the hood has a way of trying to suck you back in. We call it the crab syndrome. In Hawaii, we call it the Ama crab syndrome. And so when I see Lynn's story, Lynn Bias, for those who know anything about sports, my homie, sister's classmate, I was like, yo, I did the right thing because the hood has a way of grabbing you.
You call it the vortex.
The vortex, right.
Right. It's like, because energetically, okay, like because I'm in this mindset of like everything's energy, anything's like attracting or rejecting or the frequency. So even though I can't articulate it quite right, but I'm glad you're talking with me about it because I feel like you've got the technical side that I need to connect in order to articulate whatever these like concepts are that are brewing. But okay, but yeah, the that it attracts and that frequency, right, of a previous life wants to bring you back, right?
Yes.
Like
100%.
a magnet. It's trying to bring
100%.
you back. So you have to swim harder upstream.
Correct.
Right. But you have to have chosen that. But it's like the people who've chosen that, like, so you're talking about like Neil deGrasse Tyson chose to feel like he was like, I am smart. I do have something to say. I do have something to explore, right?
Yes.
And then went harder than the vortex.
I think about this. Okay, I'm gonna pick on our homie right now because she's in the room and she can hear me and she knows I love her. And I'm sorry, I love to use her story because I think more people need to understand it. If you are becoming a renowned software coder, one of the few females in the Bay Area that's doing coding, one of the few females invited to the White House to talk about girls getting into coding, you are on an upward trajectory that looks like this. And then you decide to take your Cannondale down a mountain and you cool as a pool, you swim, you get a little bottle, get your little drink on, you like, hell yeah, y'all, hell yeah. And then you be like, hey, pavement, let me give you a kiss. Pow! You knock the fuck out. And now you don't remember how to code anymore. Now you don't remember how to talk anymore. Now you even have a hard time walking. You've had your whole life snatched away from you. There's two choices. Stay that way and live with the hands that you were dealt, or fight through the doctor saying you ain't going to talk again, the doctor saying you ain't going to walk again, the doctor saying you're basically going to be in a semi-vegetative state the rest of your life. We all, thankfully, know which one Aubrey chose. Aubrey's like, fuck that. I got to see Doc and Mary Lou so I can harass them and give them shit and crack jokes and be a pain in the ass, but we love her. Right? Like Aubrey chose, my joke is Aubrey chose violence. Right? She had an opportunity to pick, I'm going to just stay in this bed and cry about what has happened to me. And she could tell us if she wants to. Maybe she did cry for a minute. Maybe somebody came in and was like, nah, bitch, get up. And then she's like, fuck you, then I'll get up. Or maybe she decided by herself. Actually, we never talked about that. Did you decide by yourself or somebody talked you into it?
Yeah, she's here. Let us know.
Yeah, speak up. Put your mic on.
Okay, sorry, I'm speaking up now. But I had to decide. I was like, what? I can either just sit on the couch and drink beer. I
I like
hate
that.
beer, and especially since I that crashing in my face, the nerve going through my. I don't like carbonation basically now. Weird. And I always loved my whiskey and Diet Coke. So wait, you know. But anyways, okay, getting back to starting. Yeah, I was gonna go back. I was gonna make it. They said I had like a year and a half, but I was like, yeah, I couldn't move. This is fine. This is getting better. But yeah, it was. What am I gonna do today? Now what? And that's
And how long ago was
thankfully.
that?
Oh, I'm gonna celebrate 10 years in about 6 months.
Hell yeah. Damn. See that?
I
Wait,
am
so basically just to make sure that we're on the same page, you decided by yourself, fuck that, I'm getting up.
so yes, I just bucked the system and I'm like, I'm gonna do it. People, it may not work. I'm gonna try.
I'm glad you tried.
A
So,
choice,
Cause
a
I get
decision.
to
We're
be
so
your
glad
friend
you're
now.
here.
You know what I'm saying? A question for you
it's
as well. Were you and Paul already married at that time or were you guys together at that time?
no. So that's the
So
thing.
that wasn't
It's
even the
funny.
motivation, right?
Just, yeah, I just broken up, yeah, with the girl the day before. And,
That bitch sabotaged your
oopsie.
bike. What's her name? I mean,
Yeah,
did
no.
you
Like,
cut?
give us her
Did
number.
you cut my baby sister's freaking brakes? What, bitch? You need to
Don't
speak up.
be that.
Me and Nee can go
But
investigate her. We got a special set of skills.
I'm glad I have people to help me.
you know, but see, and Aubrey, thank you for willing to speak up. I mean, this is so far removed from us. We're doing what we're supposed to be doing, but
No, but
I just
it's
want to
right
say,
though.
so like when I learned from you, I learned from Minnie, I learned from Julie who popped up in the chat that how do people who don't have the weight against them find excuses not to perform when you three, Hershey, another one of our brothers who is, low vision, like they're like, whatever, man, we still doing it. Like, and I go to conferences where I see what we would call, the differently abled people making excuses. And it makes me mad because you do your work always, right? And then you'll call me up and say, did I ask you this before? Yes, 7 times. It's okay. We love you. But who cares? Like, there's better things to worry about than I got to answer Arby's same question again. You know what I mean? Because I love the fact that you have not given up and you refuse to give up. And you come every single time. You know what I'm saying? And you put in the amount of work, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? If
Well, I will
nothing
say,
else, you're like the mascot for us not to quit. Because I can't sit in my house, and I'm not going to lie. I've had this thought before. I'm sitting in the house. I'm tired as hell. I'm going to take me a nap. I can't take a nap. I got to go get this content out because Ari can't take a nap. So that's what it is. That's why I get irritated when I don't get to make content. Because I opened my mouth. I wrote a check that my ass can't cash, and now I have to keep doing that work. There's no getting out of it. I'll be dead honest with y'all. I'm on day 26 of 30 Days of Da Vinci, and the last 4 days is going to suck because I have no idea what to talk about now. I figured that program out in a week. That program easy as shit. I figured it out in a week. Can I color correct like a Hollywood movie yet? No. But do you guys need to know that? No. So I can't teach that. It wouldn't behoove me to teach you how to do Hollywood level color correcting. But that's where I could live in DaVinci for 2 years to get good at a particular part, right? I know audio editing, and maybe I can spend 4 days on teaching you that, but you don't need to know that. Use Auphonic or use the other plugin Via that I showed you. Go to town. Like, you don't need to know how to go in there and make EQ curves and shit. That's not going to help you. That's going to be piss you off, right? So now I'm basically done, and I'm going to go figure out what the hell to make up for the last 4 days because the program is easy. I'm glad Paul pushed me into it. While he's standing in the back showing us the whitest legs I've ever seen on Zoom. Jesus Christ, bro, go outside. Stick your legs out the window, homie. Your arms are well tanned. Them legs, though, Jesus. I'm not going to
We
show
need to
y'all
get the
this.
short shorts outside.
These legs is, ooh, they glow in the dark. They're translucent. Thank you, Aubrey. I'm going to move you out the way so I can put Rich's comment on the
Well,
screen. Love you. Say something.
I'm just gonna say thank you for kicking my rear end to start writing online. Like, get the right perfect thing? No, but I just started. So thank you for giving me a little push.
Thank you. Appreciate
Ish.
you. You know what? Yesterday when I'm
Right.
cleaning my fountain pens and getting ink everywhere, I'm like, I told myself I was gonna get my fingers looking like Aubrey. Yo, I had purple all on my elbows and shit. So
I'm so proud.
thanks, Obs. You see what I mean? And then, like
Cheers.
Rich said, prison's the same way. Guys be on the verge of getting out, and then somebody will pick a fight or something and drag them back in and give them more jail time. And he said, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Yeah, 100%, bro. Like, it's the kind of thing that can just get you like that. Paul got mad at us. He turned off his camera so we can't see his legs. And the other Paul, his Xfinity died, so he can't use the internet right now, which is kind of crazy. My kids had the same mindset of joining the NBA like every other teenager, but they changed the mindset. Said, I'm the oldest now, joining the crayon eaters. There you go. Yeah, dude.
What's the crayon eaters?
It's just a military jargon for you can't say those words anymore. Julie said,
Oh.
I do it because I'm alive. Yes, Julie, yes. That's what I'm talking about. People, Camille, one of my oldest, dearest friends, when I used to have my co-working space, Camille used to always hang out in my co-working space. And Camille is the person that got me started on electric vehicles. And so the reason why I have one to this day is probably Camille's fault. First person I ever know to have an electric motorcycle way back when nobody had one. And it was the coolest thing ever. What's up, Camille? Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thanks for the super chat. The coffee. Look, he bought you a coffee.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Camille. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Rafi in the building. What is up, family? Love you. Good to see you. I'm like, I told my Final Cut boys, okay, dudes, we got like 4 more days of this DaVinci stuff and I'll stop. Because every day, because we have a thing in our Discord where they can see who posted what. And every day they're getting in Discord updates. And Matt told me yesterday, oh, I thought we lost you forever. I was like, nah. On the last day, I'll divulge my insights of both. Yes, the mindset shift that changes everything. 100%, bro. 100%. That is what it is. So I'm sorry we derailed the beginning of our hour of getting ready to record. But it was an interesting point, Mary Lou, because I think, if you get into the brass tacks and the sort of kinesiology and physiology of it all, it can get a little crazy. And I appreciate someone. I definitely speak up and say all the time I'm a Virgo because, well, that's what it says on the calendar. But I don't completely ascribe to the things that I do are out of my control, right? I definitely see patterns, but I think I can take any sign and take those patterns and find a way to make them fit me. Because that's what, oh my God, I always mix these two up. There's paradiola, and then there's the other day. Hold on. Okay, there's apophenia and paradiola, right? Paradiola is the tendency to perceive meaningful images. Okay, so it's the other one, apophenia. The broad terminology, the tendency to perceive meaningful connections between unrelated things or idea, often involving patterns or data and situation. So not being apophonetic and like saying, Okay, this is Apple Phonetic Thought. I just switched my lights to Amaranth. I had Nan lights for the last 7
Forever.
years, right? And
Yeah,
I
like
just
a
switched my
yeah.
2 key lights and one light to Amaranth. And I did it at the beginning of this month. And this month I've had more subscribers than ever. Probably because I'm doing 30 days of Da Vinci contest. Let's just be real. It would be Apple Phonetic to be like, I switched to Amaranth and I got more subscribers. Right?
Yeah, like
Or
the correlation.
Mercury's in
Yeah.
retrograde and my subscribers went up. Right?
hmm
So my camera broke, but my subscribers went up. So which one would a positive person blame on Mercury, quote unquote, being in retrograde? And what would someone looking for an excuse to be effed up pick on? You see what I'm saying?
Say it.
Because in the time frame, here's another crazy situation. You know, we talked about last week about loss and
hmm
recovering from loss. That Saturday morning, so this was Tuesday. That Sunday morning, rather, I saw a news report about a driver who got in a head-on collision with a tractor trailer. It was just a newsfeed thing. Let it roll past. That Monday, we found out that the person didn't make it. That Tuesday after the stream, I opened up the IG, and a bunch of my sisters from my clubbing days pop up with hearts and emojis and whatever. I was one of my club sisters' daughter. You see what I mean? So like, it would be easy for me to then in turn blame that on something else. The reality is it was just time and place. Time and place happens, right? Of course, the a-holes on the internet are blaming the family. Why was she doing this? Why was she out? Like all this other stuff. And it's like, that's not how life works. Just because you hide from possibilities, I can say my niece wasn't hiding from possibilities. She was trying to live her best life. She moved back home to try to live her best life because of the wildfires in California and her 2 kids. She was like, what's going on in California right now doesn't match my sensibilities. I need to go back home to the comfort of my people. And so she came back home to make things better. And assholes are in the chat blaming her. What was she doing out? Like, why was she driving this? Why was this? Blah, 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 right? Because that's just what they do. People are looking for, people look for answers for things that don't technically need to be answered. And so if you're looking for the reasons why you can't do what we're all asking to do, you will find them. If like myself and the crazy Filipino lady to my left, right? I don't even know how the TV works. Right? I think. If we looking for excuses as to who gonna stop me? Like Julie said, I'm alive. So I don't I was pissed. I was mad at the people in the comments. I send my love messages to my fam. And I just see it as another reason to remember that I have no choice but to do this and do it at a level that is respectable at best. It's not about likes and subscribers and cash flow or whatever. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't stupid. I'm a grown ass man. I want to buy a Leica. I want to buy a house in Japan. I wish it was, $250,000 where I could just say, screw it, I'm gonna go buy a $10,000 camera. But that's not the motivation, if you will. I don't need a motivation. I have a purpose. Why are you smiling?
I'm just like really excited to hear like these thoughts because this is stuff that's been floating around for me, and I'm just so I really appreciate that we can talk about things like like we just talk about things. And that I don't feel
what's
bad
your
because like I have concepts of things that I can't articulate, and then I ask, and then you give your piece. Like
so
I love
what are
it.
your concepts? Share with the people.
So what I've been, I think it's because like I was sick for a week, right? So I was just like sitting here, and I'm like, I don't want to look at the internet. I don't want to. I just want to sit here and just be, right? So energy, frequencies, thinking about time being conceptual. This is like something like Will always tells me. He's like, you're a fourth dimensional being. He's like, 'cause, like I like see, and like the way that I interpret things sometimes is like different than what everybody else in the room is doing. But I'm like, I don't know. That's just, I have different experience than people. I've got different way of thinking. Um, but with like, okay, as creators, that's why I really think this like is the topic here. And I don't know, we might just need to just continue the conversation as opposed to recording something.
We're gonna get a
But
hate
like
comment.
with creating, as creators, I create as if I already have 1 million subscribers, because if time is fluid, the future, the past, the present's all happening at the same time, then I am creating for my 1 million subscribers. I create the content I do now for the 1 million subscribers I already have, even though on the YouTube page I do not already have. But they are there, as time is flexible. Time is all happening at once, right? And that we are all one energetically. We're just different parts of the same energetic situation. So your success is my success, your pain is my pain, your wins are my wins, your losses are my losses, but like energetically it's just all a little bit this way, a little bit that way, the way the tides are, right? Sometimes it's high tide over here, sometimes it's high tide over there, but it's all one ocean, right? This is weird stuff I'm thinking about lately. But with what you're doing, right? Let me back up. When we want something, like, so people who are here watching and like you want to be a creator, and it's the difference between I want to be or I am. You want to be a creator, great, but that's just a concept. You are a creator, and if we compress time into everything happening all at once, everything everywhere all at
I
once,
was
right?
gonna say that. I'm glad you beat me to it.
Right? Like, listen, it's just like it's gotten weird for me, but like in a good way. But if you are a creator and like you not creating today, but then it hurts you feel some kind of way to not make your video today, is because at somewhere in the timeline it is happening. So you're energetically being pushed in the direction to make the thing true eventually, even if in our concept of time it isn't right now, but somewhere in time it is.
If I could turn back time. Sorry.
Right? Oh, we haven't had a song in a minute.
I was gonna do the Will and Grace. Listen, you said something so valuable. I want to make sure this doesn't get missed. Because I've said from the day I started this channel, Kevin Cox is my witness, Rich Graham, the OG moderators. I have always said the most important thing you do isn't camera, isn't lighting, isn't white balance, it isn't audio. It's standing in the bomba clot mirror and confessing on a daily basis, I am a creator. When someone says, what do? I'm a creator that happens to own a digital marketing agency. I am a creator who happens to, do ministries online, right? I think that too many people, we had this conversation before about what is a creator? What is a creator? I think too many people have gatekept the concept of being a creator to the point where people don't feel like they get to call themselves a creator until they got 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Nah, because everybody's creating, fam, is whether you creating excuses, whether you creating drama, or whether you creating a better place. right? The a-holes that came in on the news story that had something heinous to say about my niece, they were creating. They were creating unnecessary drama because they feel bad about their life. They feel like somebody stole something from them. They feel like they are not in control. So if I gotta suck, let me go say some heinous BS about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am a creator. I'm also a diehard Manchester United fan. I would definitely go to Liverpool page and be like, y'all are a bunch of assholes. They won the championship. We came in 16th place. But I could create that drama too. I'm glad that my other friend Vicky Sharp's not here because she would be bragging right now. Shut up, Vicky, in case you watch this after. I know you'd be lurking. Don't say that because she's going to be like, I told you, ha ha, right? But it's a thing, like, we all do it no matter what. You see what I'm saying? So I just choose better. Like, I really do. I just choose better. And I'm cool to go to my grave with the Pollyannic mindset that I did something dope, because I might not be doing anything. But I'm going to go down swinging as opposed to just go down. You know, like, that's the option. The option is I can go down swinging, like I did my best. I came through. I put together, you know, a place for people who want to create content at a certain age or a certain vintage, as I like to say. And we swung at it like we fitting to be like these kids. And maybe we can never be as young as them or as cute as them or, you know, to me. You know what I'm saying? Paul is never going to get views because he's cute. I'm just saying,
not with that
bro.
attitude.
I'm just saying, bro. Yeah, some of us was born with a nice bald head. Some of us was born looking like a human peanut. I'm just messing with you, Paul. I'm just messing with you. I'm just fixing this thumbnail because we're gonna get like people mad at me. So I'm gonna fix it ahead of time and change it.
Yes.
Right? I'm gonna do something. Right?
Live chat. Yeah, that's good. Be like, change it to something being about choice. Because we are talking, like, that is what I wanted to kind of cover in our episode today. But I do have a doctor's appointment later, so I won't be able to just like stay forever and chit chat. But
wait, it goes
choice.
On this, is it going this side or this side? Because it's all of us.
I think it's that one.
Gretchen, English
unless you
lady.
want to make it to one person.
Where's the
maybe apostrophe S?
Okay,
so when somebody's reading it, they're it's personalized.
Oh, you're gonna make it personal? Okay.
She ain't here.
See, when we need the English lady, she not here.
Because if you do the S apostrophe, then it's like the collective of creators. But
okay, we
want to make of humanity, we are individuals.
We are the world.
Even though we are a collective.
We are the little bitty African children. Why my Photoshop? I'm just trying to export a damn pingdingy. Actually, I would just screenshot this and be lazy about it. All right, I got it. We're done.
Do it. I do that all the time where I'm like, I know it's the right size. It's going to fit. It's fine.
Yeah, I would just screenshot it and call it a day. So I just think, fam, for us, you said that thing, and it was so important that you mentioned the part about like choosing to be a creator, right? You have to say, that's it. Like, you have to make this choice. And the first thing, so I ran into a dear friend of mine yesterday, Sean. Sean, my dad would have called his other son Sean because, like, he was just a real cool customer who my dad fell in love with. My dad would do that. He would drag people under the wing. And, Sean Fields was the other Sean. And this really good kid. So he's a little bit younger than me, but not a lot. And he was having lunch with a guest and his daughter, who's probably about 20, about to turn 21. And he goes, "Oh, Simone, this is Uncle Doc. This is who I was trying to tell you. Like, if you want to be a creator, this is the person you need to listen to." And so I was like, Simone, what are you trying to create? And she goes, well, I'm trying to create short form content. And I was like, all right, stop that. And she was like, why? I go, no, you just create content. Like, don't label it yet because you're going to pigeonhole yourself and you won't see the opportunities because you're a shorts creator. You won't see opportunities where long form exists. So just I'm a creator, right? So what are you going to talk
Hmm.
about? And she's like, well, I want to talk about like, mindset, motivation, fitness, whatever. I'm like, okay, dope. All right. So how much are you creating? And she's like, well, I'm right now I'm struggling to get out 4 a week. And I was like, stop that. She was like, why? And I was like, bro, you're like young. You live in the dopest spot on the planet. You just go outside and do push-ups and then talk about getting your head right and call that a content. Like, stop trying to produce the way that my dad taught me and your dad, right? Like that, you're not trying to be a filmmaker, fam. You're trying to be a motivational, like, what's the word? Um, Not influence. I hate that word. You're trying to be an ideal model citizen. You're trying to be a model citizen for young females on the come up, right? She's biracial. She lives in Hawaii. She's cute, regardless of what Sean looks like. Uh, more than likely, she's probably bilingual. I forgot to ask her that question. But we live in paradise. She's brilliant. She has a good head on her shoulders, and like she's out here like absorbing shit from like Mr. Beast and some of these other creators and trying to figure out what to do. And I'm like, stop that. I'm like, you don't need to look any further than inside the mirror. I was like, Sim One, you are it, right? I love the name Simone because it's Sim One. Remember Al Pacino? Right? I love that, right? So I was like, yo, you just need to go, girl. Just get it out there. I was like, I'm gonna call your dad in a week and ask him how much you put up. And I swear to you, if you're not cranking out 5 a day, Uncle Doc's coming knock on your door. Like, I'm coming after you. Because if you want to do shorts, you ain't got no excuse. Like, if you try to do long form content, I'll give you something. But you got to get through your first 100 videos. She's like, oh my God, Mr. B says that. And I was like, yeah, because that's true. Like, all of us will say that. No matter, you're going to go to this training program that she signed up for. And I was like, I want you to go. I want you to spend that money and waste it so you can find out you don't need that. And so it's just, I'm not going to tell you that, but trust me, you don't need it, but do it anyway so you can know you don't need it. It's worth
Right. You need to prove it to yourself.
Thank you. It's worth the money for you to
Yeah.
find out that you didn't need this because you have it. Everything that you were looking for is in the mirror. And then she was excited, like she was pumped, right? And I love that because, kids, like, they're just willing to be like that. But grown folks, we tell them that, and they be looking for all kinds of excuses. That's why that's not the answer. And I'm like, no, bro, it's in there. So I love the fact that you think about it a certain way. And also, Will's input is brilliant. You know what I mean? It's cool that you see things differently because that difference could be, I'm about to say something mad stupid, that difference could be the difference. Okay, the mouse is
Yeah.
doing
I mean,
that
like,
thing.
it's true though. So where I've been thinking lately, is with primarily for the last handful of years, it's been tutorials, which has been by demand, right? So when somebody was like, how did you get however many subscribers? And, like thinking about like, okay, like how, like statistically, analytically, like how did this happen, right? I created a library. I was making videos for funsies and making videos for work. People would ask me, how do you XYZ? How do you do this? How do you film like this? How do you edit like this? And then three people would ask, I make a video. Then that eventually builds a library. The library exists. When the need came up and people were looking for this stuff, everybody checked out all the books of the library, right? So that was like a big push. So then I continued to answer these questions because more questions started to come, tutorials, et cetera, et cetera. So now we're at this point where that is what I have been doing. But then now I'm thinking like, is this what I want to or need to be saying now? Because I am a creator. Like, I make YouTube videos, I make Instagram videos, I know how to make tutorials, but I am an artist. I have done any creative pull that I have, I've gone to explore it. And now what I'm trying to listen to is what's the download of what's the next thing. And with AI now, it's not going to be completely obsolete, but I think your basic level tutorials will become obsolete. We will need more intermediate to advanced. That's going to have people's insights. Like, we're going to want to hear from people's experience. We're going to want to know the nuances of things. And we want to know from a human that something is possible. But your base level, how do I turn on my phone, right? How do I turn on this camera? How do I change this setting? Those are you just type it, and then like the machine will just say blah, 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 step 1 through 5, and you're like, I don't understand, and then it'll explain it to you differently, right? So as a collective, as humanity, where do we go next? What is the next iteration? What's the next growth? What's the next evolution of creators and artists with the mediums that we have access to? Because it is now the time where artists, you have something to say or something to do or something to show, is you can actually do it where somebody might see it. And there's always going to be people who are scared, but it's there. It's there for you. Like, you could just go do it. So in thinking about choice, right, and trying to listen, what is the next direction? Everything that has happened is intentional. It happened. I've like no regrets for any direction that I've ever taken, because it all informs where I am now. Past, present, future is all happening at once. It all connects. It's all important. Good, bad, all of it is important. And yeah, like I agree with Kevin, like people want to see it done visually. That's why I don't think it's going to be obsolete, because that's where it's like intermediate to advanced. If it's the beginner stuff, it can be found, and people who cannot find it in that way, they're going to get left behind. We're going to still need human teachers for concepts, right? For execution, for, you know, various different things. I don't know how I got here, but choice, what's next? What's next for me as an artist? What's next for you as an artist, right? Like, you had the shift from wanting to do fully edited B-roll, fancy to let me just make a video every day and share what's the download that came today.
Right.
What's the thing that dropped into my mind today that needed to be told to the people?
And
so
that
what
was
you're
a weird
creating
shift. That was a weird shift too, because I think so many people. Okay, we got stuck in this retention editing thing, and it's so dope to hear it now. Like, YouTube is kind of sort of over that mess. People in general are over that mess. The thing about these trends that you guys be trying to jack, and I'll say you guys because I did it. I'm not gonna act like I'm not a part of it. These trends that we all try to get into eventually get sold out because they're not human connection. Okay, this is gonna sound crazy.
shiny object.
It's a thank you. I'm glad you said it that way. It is a shiny object syndrome, right? So hyper editing. Okay, let me make sure I get my words right, because I'm gonna piss some people off, and I'm gonna piss some people off, and I'm gonna make sure I'm pissing off the right people. Coming up with YouTube you must do it this way in order to succeed, is ostensibly a form of gatekeeping. So if I want to ensure that I can make it easy for me to win, I could take somebody who's winning, I can oversimplify what they're doing. I can teach people that in order to win like that person, you must do these steps, and they are very easy. The cool thing about these steps, although they're easy, not everybody can do it because there is a hurdle that must be jumped. Okay? So in the example of make content like Mr. Beast, required you to know how to use Final Cut, DaVinci, Premiere, CapCut to an extent, right? iMovie wasn't going to get it, right? You needed to have Epidemic Sound, Artlist, story blocks, some things like that. So now I can take a mediocre content creator who happens to have the money to buy all the services it takes to put all of the retention edited B-roll stuff in there. I also, if I had the money to hire a editor in Brazil, India, Czechoslovakia, somewhere where I can get, based off of a US $50 edit done for $10 or something like that. These numbers don't make sense, but just understand, less dollar per hour than doing it locally or doing it myself. If I had the ability to buy the human editing talent and the assets, or the team to create said assets, I can make my channel win faster. But also, if I could tell people that this is the only way you're going to be able to do it, and sell the idea and charge you $2,500 to come to my class to learn how to do it, even if I'm selling the idea of the simplicity, meanwhile I have a team of 20 people helping me make it look simple. You know what I'm saying? If Jeff came up and said, I'm going to show you how to start an online business that's eventually worth a couple $100 billion, and all you need to do is spend 50 grand to come to my seminar, people would spend the 50 grand to go to his seminar. And he's like, all you need is an idea to sell something, and then push that idea in craziness. He's not going to mention the cash flow injection from PayPal. He's not going to mention the investors. He's not going to mention Y Combinator and some of the other venture capitalist groups that came in. He's not going to mention underpaying employees. He's not going to mention all kind of myriad stuff. But people will buy that because the idea of getting a shortcut on how to become a swole 50-year-old bald-headed human Lex Luthor, people are going to buy it. And so what happens is there are a whole bunch of people selling you how to become Jimmy Donaldson, or Mr. Beast, how to become Emma Chamberlain, how to become Ryan Trahan, so forth, so on, etc. And the only people that it helped were the people who can afford to buy all of that crap. But what nobody told you during the exact same freaking time is there was a person who put a $240 camcorder in front of a dryer and recorded the dryer for an hour and put it on loop for 10 hours. And that video has, what was it, Paul? 4 million views? A dryer.
That's fun.
Da-dunk, 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 for 10 hours straight. A dryer. Cheap camcorder. Millions of views. Nobody talked about that because that's not glamorous. No one is saying there are people who need to hear the sound of street traffic to sleep. I grew up in the freaking hood. When I moved to Hawaii, I could not sleep for like the first 5 years because it was too quiet. There was no YouTube. But if there was a YouTube, I would do it. When I travel to this very day, I put on rain, wind noise, 8-hour sleep joints, or I put on some kind of white noise because the hotel be too silent sometimes. Right? And it's out there. No one talked about, I wish Gresham was here because she knows the name by the top of her head. There's a little skinny girl who lives in the Pacific Northwest, who lives out of a van, shoots everything with an iPhone. She has like 3 million subs. She's not even famous, but she got 3 million subs, and all she is living by herself in a van in the woods in Washington State. Everything shot on an iPhone. Nobody
The one with
talks
her snake?
about her. Maybe Gretchen knows. Nobody talks about her. I can't even remember her name. That's what I'm talking about. Right? Like Jill could tell you there's channels out of Brazil where there's just people just doing random Brazil stuff and they got millions of followers. I follow a family of 4 sisters who were being assholes. None of them are like supermodel cute. They're what we would call basic, but in a not dismissive way. But every single one of them has over 100,000 subs. One of them is 500,000 subs. Well, because she's the pro basketball player or volleyball player. But they just vlog. And now they got their parents in the vlog, and their mom and dad are in their 60s, and within 6 months got a channel of like 150,000 people. They're huge on TikTok. Nobody talks about them because it's not glamorous. There's no gatekeeping involved. You know what they film? They film how to be a family with 7 kids and 2 parents that live in the Philippines. Just so happens they're all like mental level smart. It just so happens they have an affinity for Japan. And from Manila, you can fly to Japan in 2.5 hours. So they shoot a lot of content of them traveling back and forth to Japan. And I guess that's admirable in the Philippines because it's not a super rich country. It's not a super poor country. But the idea of, going every other month to Japan and stay there for 2 weeks is probably out of the range. So people watch them vicariously. You know what I mean? I watch it because I miss Japan. And I live in Hawaii long enough to understand when they say weird shit in Tagalog. I actually understand it because I live in Hawaii. I hear Tagalog on 24/7. I probably speak more Tagalog than Mary Lou.
That's true.
Oh, really? I was just capping.
Yeah, I can understand it. I can't speak it.
Oh, you're definitely understanding because you get yelled at. You know what's up.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, the moment whenever like it clicked
it's
and
the
my
whole name.
there-
Marilu, Marites, Marilu, Rodriguez Mando, Alikidito. You're like, oh shit, I'm busted.
yeah. No, it's like my mom was like talking trash to me to her friends, and I was like, "Don't say that about me. That's not true." And she's like, "What?" And I was like, "You just said this about me." And she's like, "Oh, you understand?" And I was like, "Girl, I've been understand." Like I am a very smart kid. Like,
Bro,
I get in trouble for an A-. So yes, this is your fault.
Say this again, Raph. Say this again. Everyone is jealous of results, but no one is jealous of the work it took to get there. These are whole 100%. A whole 100%. Kevin said he knows the girl I'm talking about. Rafi says trendsetters are already moving on to something new. If you want to know the long way around, take the shortcut. 100%. 100%. Because again, this is also true. If it's a trend, it's already too late. Right? And this is what the trendsetters are do. You know what I mean? It's really, really crazy how it works. Trendjacking sometimes is also creators don't have the creative process to think outside of the box. So they do what's innate to make them recreate what brought their views to other creators. Yeah, 100%. It doesn't work because your audience is not their audience. If I tried to do a, what's the thing? The XO, the triangle, the square. Oh my God, my Korean
Tic-tac-toe?
sensibilities. No, my Korean sensibilities should know better.
Okay.
Oh my God. Squid Game. If I tried to do a Squid Game video with our creators, it would look real stupid. A bunch of busted knees and hips and shit. Like we would all die in the first game. Like I could never create that. Like why would I try to copy that? It just doesn't make any sense, right?
Well, and using trends and like doing like copying other people is a way to practice, but you have to elevate eventually.
Yes.
And stop consuming so much. So it's like a thought I've been having lately was about not being able to hear what it is you're actually supposed to be making. Because imagine you're in a car and the GPS is telling you where to go, but you got the radio blaring, 3 people are talking, the windows are down, and you're like in a big city. So you can't even hear what direction you're supposed to be going because you are inputting too much.
So what you're saying is
it's
you
too
ride
loud
with me at camp?
Yes. But like we talk though, like you can,
you gotta call me out. I have the radio kicking, GPS kicking, windows down because I don't like AC or heat. That's super funny. Mm-hmm. That's just how I drive.
Yeah, but that's like if we're not talking, right? We're just like vibing, right? Yeah. But it's different.
It's
a different thing. Like you
it's so much fun. Just like I kind of want to like at camp. I don't even know what we're gonna do because the idea is not even to be contrived. I think we need to have 4 action cams glued to every window, pointing at every seat. That as soon as we get in the car, we just turn them on, and we collect all of the footage.
Karaoke.
huh? Yeah, we just
Like
collect all
carpool
the
karaoke. Yeah.
footage
Let me just see what happens.
and just see what happens. See what because we have the best conversations in the car. Me, you, Paul, like At whoever's riding with us. We just have like the best convos, and it's similar to this, right? Like, and people listen. This is interactive. So if there's something that you want to say or you talk about creators or your choices or you're feeling stuck or whatever, since we decided to turn this into the rap episode, then just
Yeah, it's a different thing.
let it out because I think it's important. I think it's important to have these conversations, especially because it's easy. And I was talking to Simone about this yesterday. She goes, sometimes when she gets stuck, what she does is go on to the platforms and see what everybody else is doing. And all that causes you to do is to create what everybody else is doing. It doesn't cause you to create what was really in your heart. And even when you don't have anything to post or you don't know what to post, it's still in you. The biggest habit you can create is that running list. And put it somewhere where you can get to it. Because the best thing you can do is look at that running list and say, I don't want to make any of these right now. But let me make one anyway for the practice. Or make the video that says, here's my list of topics that I have coming. I don't really feel any of these, but I do want to give you guys what is important to you. So here's the list. Vote. Tell me what to make. Give the people what they want. Go to the comments. Paul is crushing it going to the comments. This fool done figured out
once we unlock the responding
Paul
through
is
video
in the comments daily. Now he's trying to figure out how to AI snatch all the comments. That's brilliant. Like, he's like, I'm going to live in these comments. And, whenever you stuck, the answer's in the comments. When the Vinci thing is over, I have the next video planned. Not really planned, but I shouldn't say planned because that's definitely not the right terminology. I have the next video because I found a gem in the comments and I hadn't really thought about how to do this. But it exists. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Where'd it go? There it is. Oh, I just saw the thumbnail. Here. It's going to be hard to see, but live with me. So somebody posted on one of my videos, and if I put it here and embiggen this a few times, it says, I have transferred my photos and videos to a MacBook to an external SSD, but I'm unable to open and view the video. What's the problem? What can I do? That wasn't even the right one. It's this one. I have 40,000 photos on my Mac. How do I move some, say 10,000 to an external, and that will stay in the cloud, and on my other devices, just get them off the desktop? Thanks. I've always been all or nothing. I haven't figured out how to segment it, but I will figure out how to segment it and I will make that video because this comment came in on a video that is pushing, I want to say close to 500,000. If you happen to, you shut up, dummy.
Look at this baby.
469,000. So when you get a comment on a video that has 469,000 views, that comment needs to get answered. So I will go and make a video that answers that question. I don't even know how to do it yet, but I'll figure it out. I think I have some ideas, and I'll give the good, the bad, and I'll give the good, the better, the best. I'll give like 3 ways to do it, and I'll turn that into a thing. And for you people who hate shorts, by the way, the trend has been set. Short form video is here to stay. However, people are craving long form content because of the television.
Mm-hmm. And they want something to listen to while they're washing their dishes. Like, I was like thinking about my behaviors, and sometimes like TikTok, you can't put on like short form. You can't put on and then like put your dishwashing gloves on and then like just let it be because it's just gonna blah, blah, repeat. I look for something that's like 20 to 40 minutes so I can do my dishes, cook something, clean something. That's just like it's just on and hanging out with me while I'm doing whatever things. And that is what I'm feeling is the call for what to create next, because we all have been, here's 5 ways to blah, 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 blah. Next video, here's 5 ways to blah, 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 blah. Here's why you're not succeeding. Here's why you're not
I
winning.
almost
Here's
don't
why
want to
this.
do
Here's
those counts because of the damn shorts and the robot voice that Paul Duncan hates so much. This girl here is a genius. Let me know. Did you know that you could put a chopstick in the door? I was like, what the? What? Oh my
You're like, what are
God.
we even looking at here?
Bro, and
Yeah,
Flip just
it's
got
like,
way too many of them joints now.
oh, I privated my account in there. I was the queen of Flip, and I have stepped back. I was like, no, thank you. I have other things I want to be doing instead.
It's really weird
And
because
that's
everybody
okay.
wants to do video, but YouTube does it the best, and it's just everything else is just
Yes.
pretending.
YouTube's
TikTok is
number
phenomenal,
one.
but everything else is just pretending. Here you go. More people need to trust their gut and stop listening to others. Must know what they need to do, but most know what they need to do, but don't. 100%. For me,
It's that thing,
that's
right? They're like,
podcasts.
aren't you tired of acting like you don't know?
Man, I saw somebody say something very similar, but in a different way just days ago. And the first thing that popped into my head was Mary Lou said that. Like, aren't you tired of pretending like you don't know what to do? And it was a prominent creator, too, by the way. It was super funny. For me, as the podcast, I know that I could throw it on the iPad and do chores, watch, listen at the same time, 100%. And it's the podcasts that don't even call themselves podcasts. You know, again, because that word is somewhat of a gatekeepy word, and we have to use it because the industry, that's just what they want to call it. But you know, technically what we're doing is a podcast, but today we just needed to chat. But this doesn't make it any different from the formulated episode where we bust out the things and tell you what our pick of the week is. Like, the value of the content is the same, the connectivity. And I'm gonna say something really mean right now. I love every single one of y'all, but if none of y'all was here, Mary Lou and I would have this conversation on the damn phone.
We're still gonna chit chat. Yes.
We would legit have this conversation on the damn phone, because that's just, as creators, like, this is what we do. There's no different than Paul going to the pub and talking to somebody else who repairs things, you know. And that guy might be an auto mechanic versus an appliance mechanic, but there's still, you know, people who fix things, you know, sharing a pint or seven. It's Paul, and just going in. You know what I'm saying? What's the most efficient way to run a 2-desk setup with Ecamm? One desk as a computer desk, which is my main power station for all the connected devices, and one is the other for recording videos. Easy.
It's like NDI, the one computer in, right?
There you go. I do it every day. Like, it's that simple. You just put the one that you record the videos on, set it up as NDI out, or you set the main computer up as NDI out, and then you go to the recorder. The one that has all the devices in, set that up with NDI out. Matter of fact, put NDI out on both computers, and you can see both computers from both computers. Simple. There you go. That's how you do it. I literally just did this in class the other day because I was testing out how long I could get my camera to stay on with this damn fan. And it ended up running well over 10 hours
Wow.
because it was cutting off in like an hour. So I put this sucker up. It's a little Pelletier cooler. I don't know how it works. Paul probably does, because this is probably how some ice coolers or things like in the van, they work. You basically throw electricity in there and it makes it cold. This joint gets mad cold. It ran that camera for 10 hours. The only reason why it stopped is this ran out. So the second thing I learned is how long can you run a ZV-E1 off of a small rig battery? 10 hours. 10 hours,
It's
18
10 hours.
minutes, and 24 seconds. That's how long. Yeah, it was kind of
But to stay on the NDI question, there was like a question I had for you like a month ago that I think I never followed up on. So we were I was live streaming Will's mom's memorial, and I had set up at home to have the Tail Air wireless NDI to the computer at home. When I got to the location, it didn't see it. Is it because of the Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Okay. So
NDI
can
has
you
to be on
explain
the
to me
same
how that
network.
works?
Yes, NDI has to be on the same network. And so when you left what the hell? Oh, now it wants to work. When you left the environment that you were in and you went to the new environment is not the same Wi-Fi anymore. It writes the Wi-Fi to the camera. So it's looking for Gizmo's house, Gizmo's house, Gizmo's house, and your computer automatically picks the new Wi-Fi. Your phone automatically picks the new Wi-Fi, but the Ozbot, you have to go in and set the Wi-Fi because there's no keyboard and mouse for you to go and do that. You have to use the phone app, then reconnect it.
Okay. And maybe I tried that. Maybe there wasn't time. But yeah, we managed fine, right? There's always other options. That's like the producer and me is like, I don't know, if this isn't working, we're going to move forward. We're going to do something else.
So here's
But
how you do it when
yeah, I
you
was like
don't
curious
have that
why.
problem. Is this is why I love this thing. You bust out your Slate or some other travel router, and you build this as the network when you set everything up. So
So it
even
recognizes that always.
yeah, so it's always right. So this has a Ecamm show network in it. And then when we go somewhere, we plug in all the things, they all will see this. Whether it has an outside connection to the internet doesn't matter. They need to talk to each other. They're not trying to talk to the web, right?
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then this is hardwired into the Mac Mini. And then all the cameras, all the phones, the Hollyland, everything is trying to talk to this as its Wi-Fi. The outgoing signal comes out of the computer to wherever, because a computer can connect to more than one Wi-Fi or more than one connection. And this has Speedify in it as well, so you can take the USB and plug in the thing. I just want you to know, Vicky, it's funny that you came.
I was like, this is gonna trigger.
I just changed the thumbnail in case you came by and realized we decided to just talk about chatting today, because we had,
choices.
we had things to talk about. So sometimes when we go to record an episode, we decide that the conversation is more important and doesn't get.
Vicky, as always, if you got questions, just let us know.
In the production. Yeah. Sometimes what happens when you make a plan to make a production, and I just want everybody to hear this. When you make a plan to make a production, the production takes precedence, and then you often forget the raw level of the conversation is what's important. This is where most people are screwing up in their content, is they're too busy trying to make a production as opposed to making content that resonates. Production is not important. I take that back. It's less important. Production in the terminology, see, this is where the terminology gets mixed up. Okay? Medically speaking, coming from the hospital, when your nose is running and you are producing mahon, that's called production. Like, what is the production? The mucus is yellow. The mucus is clear. That lets me know if it's an infection or just, generalized sinuses, right? If the mucus is thick, almost that production. You're just producing. It's still producing, no matter what. But the idea of dun 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 dun, lights flashing, graphics spinning, ba 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 ba, that's also production. But that's for your ego. It doesn't add any production value to the person that's come to watch what you're doing. If you're talking about how to repair a wash machine, a spiraling graphic does not make that wash machine repair any better. If you're talking about entertaining and comedy and you want to build a level of happiness and hype before you tell the joke, then yeah, tonight, presenting to the stage, Aubrey Robinson. Yay! If you are ready for the next comedian, let's bring Simply Obs to the stage. That's part of it, because you're building up that production, right? So although we do this, dang, Hershey's here too. We just talk about you. Everybody we talk about shows up.
You conjured everybody.
You guys are Beetlejuice today. When you get wrapped up in your production because you're worried about doing it wrong, you are failing before you start. The only thing you should care about is giving the people what they want. And if they're coming to you to watch how to repair the machine, teach them how to repair the machine. Everything else is gravy. If they're coming to you to learn how to write Pascal, I don't know why, but put up the screen share and code editor and start writing Pascal. If they're coming to you to learn how to peel tomatoes, the overhead camera, tomato with a score, drop it in hot water for 20 seconds, peel that son bitch. Like, don't waste time trying to be Oprah, because Oprah's not peeling tomatoes, dog. She's in the studio. The reason why she has such a high production level is there is 300 people staring at her. That's why it looks like that. It has a purpose. Hollywood does not produce things overproduced when it doesn't have to be. If you watch Hollywood carefully, when the entire story can be told as a monologue, there's a single camera and a single light and a microphone. And they would shoot the living heck out of that. Cat in the building. Yeah, it's super funny. Like, as lesser creators, we put ourselves in the mindset to assume that we don't know how to do stuff because we're trying to compare it to what's being done from what we previously saw. But you have to think of the why. Even when you see that, you have to think of the why. Why are they doing it that way? You know what I'm saying? Where'd my boy Leon go? Let me show you this Leon real quick. I'm up in this piece, and then let me hit that. I'm gonna make a new scene. Let's try this one. Go here, and what you're looking at is my other computer. Actually, let's take it to full camera. You're looking at my other computer because I can just sit here, select Dark Tenebris, which is, you know, if you're a Star Wars people, you know what's up. That is my other computer running Ecamm showing how to use DaVinci. That's my other Mac, all the way to hang over there. I'm not running DaVinci from this computer. So if I move the mouse over to Chia, where I'm now controlling the other computer, if I were to hit live demo mode on this computer, Command-Shift-D, you will see that it's running Ecamm. Why you didn't work? What did I do? Let's take it out of screen share mode. So that's the black camera. Go back to screen share mode. Sorry, this mouse is not doing what I wanted to do.
His mouse is on its way out.
Yeah, it's bugging. But like, yo, the screen share is not working right now. Look, I don't know if I could do this. This might be real stupid, but I can bring in the Ecamm from this machine over to that machine. Now it's creating an unnecessary loop, which is real stupid. But like, yeah, it's looping because I'm showing Ecamm from one machine to the. I'm doing the NDI loop right now. So that's how you do it. You just basically connect it. You go to the top and you put NDI on, and your machines can see each other. But that being said, I must remind y'all when I'm doing my not Ecamm show, don't ask me Ecamm questions. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
usually Paul Duncan's here to field that, but
yeah, Paul's internet doesn't work, so he's not here. Yo, 100% fam. I really, really appreciate what you're doing. Until you have been booed off stage by 100 New Jersey state troopers at a strip club turned comedy joint called Terminal G. Yeah, there you go. That's one thing
that's a story I want to hear.
I think creators need to get used to that because everybody's so worried about like what somebody's going to say. But like all the pros would tell you that you have to go through that. You know what I mean? Everybody would tell you got to go through that.
Tonight we're going to see Lady Gaga. And nice. I've been watching the show on TikTok Live, which is one of my favorite things about the internet, about TikTok, is that any night there's a concert, you can see it. Like you can watch it if you want to watch it. The something that stood out to me that she's been saying in various cities is that it took a long time for people to get what she was doing. She is stuck with what it was she was doing. She knew this was the art she was supposed to be sharing as a creator and just believed it until people got it. Right. So it's like, yes, there's the part of you that like do what the audience says. Like if you were like, you don't know what to do what the audience says. Great, cool. Like that is a direction, especially when you're like teaching or you're coaching or you're working on your business, you know, if that's like the specific direction. But a lot of the times I see creators are making things and then it doesn't immediately pop off. And they're like, well, I guess that was bad. And it's like, or you didn't believe it in enough. So if it's like, is it bad to you? Then yes. Or you need to believe in what you're making or make things that you actually like. Because I do find that a lot of times people aren't even making the thing that they like. So then what was the point? Right? If you can't go back and watch it. Like I made a short film a couple of years ago and like, did it go anywhere? No, but like I loved that movie and I loved making it and I loved like I'm like, yeah,
I
we
still love
did
my
that.
short film I made. It was really funny. It was an ode to Guy
Yeah.
Ritchie, but I love it. And nobody's going to see it but me and my classmates. But we had a blast and we enjoyed making it. And for me, what was the fun of it was the community came together when I'm a person in a foreign country where people didn't understand me and I barely understand them, but we were still able to produce a movie because when they heard the idea in patches, they're like, okay, I'm gonna support you guys anyway because you guys are college students and I just enjoy seeing y'all do something that's not wrecking my neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. You know, I think the funny thing is, and this, I think it's important. People need to be good citizens of the internet. You know, I'm always saying that, right? It drives me frustratingly crazy. But people like myself, like Raphael, like Paul C over here to an extent, to yourself included, yourself, just you. You don't have to say yourself, Doc. You included. We create content that is somewhat informative, somewhat instructive. However, we create that to scratch a personal itch as we are natural born teachers, right? And yes, we are here to serve the community, but we are able to serve the community in the method that we feel fit. So, not to bring up an old scar, when somebody says, okay, you made this video to teach me how to do X, but I don't want you to teach it that way. I want you to teach it this way. No, you don't get to say that. And the reason why you don't get to say that is because there's 40 other people on the dumbest subject teaching you how to do it. Go look at that 40 and find the one that teaches the way that you like it. And if in that 40 you don't find the one that teaches the way you like it, that's called a content gap. And success is in the content gaps. You see what I'm saying? So, Raphael teaches Final Cut. I sometimes teach Final Cut. In our group of friends, I think there's about 25 of us on the server. We all teach the exact same thing, but everybody teaches it in a different way. And of all of them people in there who are majority of my friends, the one I would watch the most is probably Raphael because he teaches the way that my brain works. But I would never go to Matthew or Dylan. Dylan, both Dylans, they're badass teachers. Like they're dope. They don't teach in the method that resonates with me because I'm way older than them. And then the other Dylan, he's just too cute. I can't look at Pretty Boy is distracting. I'm trying to learn something, dude. He's just good looking. You know what I mean? I'm jealous. I'm like, damn, I used to be cute. Now I'm old and wrinkly and shit hurts. That boy is handsome, right? Like it's a joke. It's a running joke for us. There's probably people that ain't even trying to learn Final Cut that watch his channel just because he's a good looking kid. You know, Rafi, you still cute, Raf. Don't get it twisted. But it's like if the person who's teaching this has gone out of their way to make you something, and you either take it and figure out how to make it work, or you go look for a different resource. But it's super crazy to have I didn't like the way you served this steak. Fix it this way. It's a free steak, dog. I can say, Ruth Chris, okay, maybe you can send it back and ask him to send you an au poivre. This ain't Ruth Chris. This is YouTube. The
It
you
is YouTube.
is the
Yep.
you. So if you don't like the way Paul teaches how to fix an appliance, there are 75 people that made the same video. Go find one of them. He's there for the people that teach you his way. So when a person says to me, I like the video, but I could do without the non-standard English, no me puenta tres carajo. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the people who understand embiggen. And I really wish people would catch that. And it's weird because you said it. You just said it like Lady Gaga. She has proven through her other 5 albums that she knows what she's doing. So when she decides to give you an art piece and you don't understand, then you're not the audience, bro. Everything ain't about you. Everything ain't for you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that it makes me think of a script I wrote for this like series like a whole lifetime ago. But I remember giving it to somebody else to read, and they're like, I don't think this or that works, right? And it's like there's feedback, but then like as the artist, you have to know where I'm like, you know what, then I think this isn't for you. Like that's
Yeah,
not the right
that's
person to
the
get feedback
answer.
from.
We struggle
Because
with
you
that
still
as a
need to make the
company.
choice.
We struggle with that as a company. We keep trying to fit every person that says something, and I'm like, we need to stop that. If this person doesn't get it, let them not get it. Let's stand strong in the fact that we have a huge amount. Again, this is my personal stuff. This is not the company thing, but we have a huge amount of people that use the product. So when one person comes in and says they don't get it, and yet we have 75,000 other people who got the same thing on the same class or the same video, it's not you, dog. It's them. And it's okay, it's them. That's their position. They could do what they want. It's not you. Like bending to make it fit every person is the quickest way to become directionless and pointless. You have to pick a lane, right? So Hirsch, let me get your question. Hirsch, you said, can an informative storyteller work within itself? I'm getting a lot of feedback in that room lately.
Yes.
Hirsch, every niche you can possibly think of works. There is 7.8. I've changed it. Back the number up. I am way old. There is 8.6 billion people on this planet. 2.97 billion of them have a YouTube account. Most people can't even fathom what a billion is. They know the word, but they couldn't describe it if you made them. Without Googling it, everybody in the chat describe what a billion is without Googling it. Most people can't. I'm not even what you would call a Bible thumping Christian, but I can tell you this. If I could give you $1,000 for every day since Yahweh walked the face of the earth, you still wouldn't have $1 billion. And we know this to be the year of his name, 2025. There's 365 days in the year. Do the math. You still wouldn't be at $1 billion. So that many folks, you could be how to make the most budget plushy costume and you're going to get viewers. If you make videos and they're not getting views, you're talking to the wrong people. But if you make videos and they're not getting views and you don't have 100 videos yet, you don't know who the right people are. If you're questioning your view counts at under 100 videos, you're basically just psyching yourself out. If I go to your channel and you don't have 100 videos, you kind of can't even ask the right questions to make that channel succeed. You're trying to make cookies with a single grain of flour. In order to make cookies, you need 2 cups of flour. how many views you get on less than 100 videos is still statistical anomaly. You can't work with that. After you got 100 videos in, then you can start to, and I don't want to, there's so many videos. Yes. And everybody who you're watching that's succeeding and winning and making you feel that certain way, they all got that 100 videos. The person whose channel, this one, Mary Lou, tell me I'm lying. The person whose channel who has 20 videos but 2 million people, ask them if that was their first channel. It looks like,
They're
oh,
like
but
6 channels in.
this person is making quilts and they have 2 million people watching them make quilts and they only have 20 videos. I guarantee you a dime against 2 fat boys that wasn't their first channel. They scrapped the other channel. There are accidentals. They happen. Like, there are definitely some accidentals, but for the most part, that's it. That's it. Lib says, I also fear the part of the problem is in the AI world where you can ask a robot to change the way it explains something. Yeah, there's that too. Like, I don't have any fear at all. You know me, we're friends. I fear nothing. I don't even worry about what the AI is going to do because the AI can't replace me. I'm an arrogant son of a
he's saying
bitch.
like they're saying that it's people saying to you, don't teach it to me this way, teach it to another way is conditioning because of AI and people being able
I
to
can understand
say,
that. But still, I'm with Kevin. I ain't everyone's cup of tea. I'm a cup of coffee. Go find a cup of tea. Kevin. That is me. Like, I don't owe you anything. And like, oh my God, it drives me crazy. This is why I get mad at creators and they're like, I wish Sony would do this. I wish Apple would do that. I don't wish they do anything. I want them to just keep making what they make. If I don't like it, I will buy a Commodore. I will buy a Panasonic. I will switch up. You know, people be like, always like, this ain't, everything ain't about you. Like, you got to go make some stuff yourself, man. Paul said 1.4 billion speak English. I didn't even look that up. That's good.
I had the internet do this math for me, but 1 billion minutes is 1901.29 years.
What? Wait, what? 1901.
So in the year
1901
and 0.29, which would be like a quarter, so like April or May, right?
Yep.
Is when we would have hit 1 billion minutes from whatever the time they decided to start the calendar.
Wait, Paul not here to defend himself? Yo, see, I'm telling you, man, 1 billion.
Isn't that wild?
People talk about it and they love to be like, oh, the national debt is 3 trillion. I'm like, what's a trillion? They don't even know. They don't even know. Like, it's easy to just be mad about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, who gonna come over and be like, America, give me the damn money? You seen our planes? I was in the military, so I know we ain't to be effed with. We're that bully that owes you money that you can't get your money back. So we spend, come take it. We talk a lot about that,
do I?
And we worry about it. Man, they just do that to smoke you up while they doing something else crazy. Nobody really cares about that. They just don't. And the billionaires tell you that craziness so that they can get you to vote for the person that's going to give them a tax break. Because lowering the national debt is not going to make you a dime more. They are not going to give you a raise because we lowered the national debt. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to get a better healthcare plan because we lowered the national debt. Like, y'all be tripping. Y'all be on some extra stuff. Why you say, okay, Elmo? Yo, it's super funny. This was good. I really hope people can understand that, when I was talking to Simone yesterday, and then I was like, Simone, I'm going to tell you the only thing you need to know to be a good content creator. And then she was like, yes, sir. And I was like, it's an old school saying, your dad's going to laugh when I say this, but it ain't nothing to it but to do it. That's it. Like, you cannot get good at playing golf without hitting golf balls. right? You cannot get good at shooting free throws without shooting free throws. Some people, I ain't got none, Lou ain't got none, Paul ain't got none, but if you ask my mom's, she had the easiest time with me and Carmen because of the ones that preceded us, right? It's got it made. Mom's cut her teeth on Lou. She flossed her teeth on Dez. Iz ran around like she ran the joint. Mom's was like, I know what I'm doing now.
It turned into something different. It was more like she didn't realize how easy it really was with the first one.
Exactly. Well,
she's like, "Oh my gosh!"
Hey, sometimes it gets worse.
But
it's funny,
what hellion came out now?
But in the difference is though, right? Like when you look at quote unquote super moms, they normally ain't a one kid super mom. When you look at the label super mom, they're normally a multiple kid super mom. Because they had time to figure it out and get the reps in, so to speak.
Yeah, I'd say that like with my sister just got her cat, right? And so Gizmo, I was like so nervous about everything, right? Zilla, I was like, okay, I think I get what's going on. So now with Dez's cat, she needs to do something. I'm like, you're going to get scratched. It's fine. Like, just pick her up. Like, you got to give her the medicine. You got to give her the medicine. You can't show fear. You just got to go in. You just got to make it happen. So yeah, like you have more experience, you have more things, you know what I mean? All right. This is good talk.
There you go.
Thanks for going on Rando.
I finally figured out how to drop my camera stuff into the scene window. I do have 297 videos. Why are you not ready? You don't have to do anything. I know.
You just paint your flowers. It's already set up,
listen,
Vicky. We've seen it.
I'm gonna show you the whole. I'm gonna do. I won't do anywhere near the justice because I'm not an artist. But I can do Vicky's show in 1 second. Here you go. This is gonna be terrible, and I'm cool with it being terrible. By the way, I am absolutely fine with this. So boom, here we go. Let me flip it over because it's upside down. All right, welcome to my show. Today, the medium is going to be Ito Suzuki, Murasaki Shibuki, and then I need a pen. Where's my fountain pen? All right, and then we're going to use this pen. We're going to start by filling the ink. All right, so let's get in there. That's my whole show. Like, you don't have to, your planning is just go have fun. Like, let go of the idea of planning and get into the idea of filling up a hypodermic needle without, not spray it all over the table, you jackass. See what you did, Aubrey? Damn it. Aubrey's laughing right now because Aubrey and I were just talking about this. Where's my rag? Oh my God, I just made a mess. See, that's what I get for being a smartass. Yeah, this rag is no longer good. But yeah, just like don't overthink it. Like just go have fun. Sometimes without a plan, without a script, without anything, just create live and do what I just did. Make mistakes on camera. Make a fool out of yourself, show your smiley face, and then clean up the ink while you do it. Because the people who are going to try to copy you, they're going to make the mistakes. They're going to glue their fingers together. They are going to cut the wrong thing. And you're going to be like, okay, we cut it wrong. Let's just put it down anyway. Let's just apply this. Because first of all, the concept of doing vintage art is dope. In general, sorry, I'm cleaning ink off my keyboard. He just really screwed that up. But yeah, don't overthink it. Just do this. This is all you need. These two things. And some supplies. And now I have a mess. Thank you. Attempting to do it to profession. I'll leave that to you and Gretchen because I don't know what to do. And I don't know if you reached out to her because she says she's waiting for you. I told you the only person you need to talk to know how to do what you want to do in our entire community. You don't need to listen to me, Mary Lou, Paul, Aubrey, nobody. The only person you need to talk to is Gangsta Grandma Gretchen Shepherd. And she will help you and she will show you everything you need to know. And I know she knows because I taught her. That's the only person you need to talk to. And the one day that you came to hang out with us, she's driving. She's driving across country right now. But normally she's here every time. But she knows exactly how to do everything that you want to do. Because I had to teach her how to do it.
So here's an interesting lesson. Okay, so Vicky, you said
Yeah,
I'm
don't
supposed
do
to
what
do
I
a
just
collage
did.
flower
Put
girl
ink everywhere.
that I have advertised for the show. So the concern Vicky has is the concern she had with you when
There's
it
your
wasn't about making a podcast. But that's the lesson,
pivot.
Vicky, is that like it doesn't matter.
Pivot.
Just make it's fine.
Pivot.
It's fine. To make the if you don't do the flower collage flower girl today, do it tomorrow. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not the end of the world. No one's gonna get mad at you. Well, if they do, that's the part where you go back to be like, "This is my show." Okay, so you can say, "Look, I know for a fact. I know for a fact, and so do you, because I know you know this. We show up to Chez Aubrey because today's special is Chilean sea bass with a mango chutney, nicely grilled. It's going to serve it with fresh vegetables and pearl onions. It's going to be paired with a Chateau Rhum de Pomp, 2008, Wine Spectator 97. And we get there, and they be like, guess what happened? The boat that was supposed to bring in the fish got stuck in the dock because of engine trouble. We do not have any Chilean sea bass today. What we are offering is a not a barracuda, barramundi. I would say barracuda. That don't taste good. We're offering the barramundi, and we're going to offer it the same cooking style. It's going to come with the same fresh veg. And we changed the wine pairing because that original wine pairing was supposed to be for the Chilean sea bass. Because barramundi is a little bit cleaner, a little bit more white, a little bit more wild, we're going to switch it to a Rhone Valley Zinfandel. And because of our mistake, this dinner is 20% off. You have been in a situation when you went to the restaurant for what was on the menu and it won't there. And what do chefs do? Chefs cook. Not in a dismissive way. You're making an art video. You're relaxing people.
and art's not planned.
It's not. Picasso went to go paint something. He made a bad stroke and ran with it. And now that picture's worth $100 million. We had a conversation. Sorry, Lou. Let me not cut you off. We had a conversation the other day. Vicky, listen to me closely. We had a conversation the other day about Jackson freaking Pollock and how much those joints are worth. And I'm telling you, Jackson walked into the studio one day, accidentally kicked over the paint bucket, was mad, had just come off a Coke bender, and then was like, I'm going to kick all the paint buckets over. Kicked them all over, and then went in his corner and sulked, and then dealer walked into the room. This is amazing. This is some of your best work. And Jackson was like, huh? He's like, oh, the angst, the fire, the creativity. I can't believe you did this. Jackson was like, say what? And he's like,
What?
oh, I got a buyer for this right now. I can get you $250 for this. $250? No, it's full $250. That painting right now is worth $18 million. Jackson rolled into the studio. He ain't gonna admit this. We'll never know. But I'm telling you, he rolled into the studio off a Coke bender, kicked over some buckets of paint, was totally mad because he ruined the canvas, and somebody else saw it and was like, the brazenness, the boldness, the grandeur of this way you mix the human condition with these. And Jackson just like, oh, these fools is out here. I'm gonna go make another one. And so for the rest of his life, he went in the studio knocking shit over and selling it for millions of dollars. That is the Doc Rock history of Jackson Pollock. It might not be true, but that's what I think, because there's no way you woke up planning to paint that shit. It is Rene Magritte. It is not.
Like you're not sitting there. You know how like all
history,
y'all like overthinking. You're like, what's the next video? What's the next move? What's the next thing? You think like Jackson Pollock was sitting there like, are they gonna like it? Is this, it was just like feeling some kind of way. And I would say my favorite content that I made was the year, like it was last year when I was just doing my live stream. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening today, but we're doing it.
Yep. The
And
last
now those are the best.
this picture that I'm fixing to show you, number 5 from 1948, sold for $140 million. This is called Coke Bender. Kick over a bucket, open a couple packs of mustard and ketchup and grape juice, and sling it all around. This is a blurry version of it, but that joint sold for $140 million. Why you gotta be like French Doc kills me? I'm telling you, man, like seriously, don't overthink it. Just go have fun. Like, I think you not should, I would never say should because it's your business. You do what you want. You tell people this is going to be a live, unplanned, free flow. And just let Vicky cook.
Yes.
That,
And like what is the artist that when Vicky is free, what art will come out?
there you
Right?
go.
What will it be?
That's some Julia
Magic.
Cameron joint right there. That is Julia Cameron speaking to you today. Just let it out. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Oh, Aubrey busted out her book, The Artist's Way. Thank you. Dude, I just got ink all over my every stuff. Messing with y'all. Trying to pretend to be Vicky. I am never going to be the person on the screen drawing shit. I got ink up on my elbows. I look like Aubrey right now. Yeah, just have fun, dude. Freestyle it. Free. Some of my best joints is freestyling. Like, because that's today.
Like today ended up being that.
Today was good. And I think both of us need to hear that. You know, it's funny because I was just telling somebody, like, listen, man, I am 26 days into a 30-day binge about Da Vinci content, and I ran out of stuff to talk about because I already know I know how to use the app now. Like, so the last 4 days are gonna suck. I don't even know what to put. I don't care. I'm gonna do them anyway because they got to be done.
Yeah. And that's also the issue with serializing. Go ahead, Paul.
Use DaVinci on a different app.
What different app?
Well, you, edit DaVinci with an iPad.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. I did one of those, but I'll do another one. Doing it in the iPad is fun. Good answer.
Now you can also do time trials, right?
Yeah.
How fast can you edit a vlog?
Oh, I don't do vlogs, but
Or whatever it is.
I should
Reworking content?
A music video.
I should do. Somebody send me their video so I can just edit it.
Do a podcast. Edit today's live stream into a cohesive.
Thanks, Lou. Now she tripping. Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll do how to find some clips out of what we did.
Edit 360 video.
I sold my 360 cameras. They're pointless to me for my content. They're not pointless. They're pointless to me. Mm-hmm. This is what people need to start saying. Some creators do it. Some creators don't. They're like, oh, that was pointless. No, that was pointless to you, dog. Like, the company would not go spend like hundreds of $millions to make something pointless. It's pointless to you. I am never, ever, ever going to buy a $500 pair of sneakers with the initials MJ on it. Just because it's pointless to me don't make it pointless. I've been talking to Karen a lot about people's audaciousness has gotten out of control.
The audacity.
The audacity to come into somebody's thing and tell them what they didn't do right or they should do right or whatever. It's like they're supposed to do it to bend to you. Like, that's not how it works. Even the fact that we all run around, I went to marketing school and business school, and we all went into that customer is always right. No, they not. If the customers were always right, the iPhone would not exist. Because the customers didn't know that they wanted an iPhone. They didn't know that that was even a possibility. It took a visionary. I don't even like using that word because it sounds crazy. It took balls is what it took. Not like Kintama, but Kintama's Japanese word for huevos. Testicles. There you go. It's not that kind of. It took strength of knowledge to be like, I'm going to make an ass out of myself and take a risk and see if people like it. Turned out, Half the population likes it. There you go.
I got Scoot.
All right, me too. All right, let's hear what she said. I hear you. I like perfect eyes, which I think I got from my training as a registered nurse and my mom in university. I'm writing an ebook about what I'm doing with teabag ephemera. There you go. Now, I want you to know, though, listen, because you forget, I'm paramedic, and in the Army, we basically are nurse in field. When we do the triage, we're often triaging based on the conditions that we can see at that moment in time. It is called triage, right? But what happens sometimes is once we move the initial field bandage and we think that we got that bleeder out of control, we find one that wasn't properly cauterized or we didn't see or something happens. And what do? We go into code mode. And as a registered nurse, I'm assuming you've been through a code. Them joints ain't playing, right? I have been in the ER doing a leg injury and all of a sudden get a systole and we just go into action. There's no reason for that broken leg to have turned into an asystolic patient, but we know what to do. So your nurse training says you know what to do when there is nothing to do. You know how to pull a plan out of your fourth point of contact. That's a military terminology. Look it up. It has to do with the posterior. Stop overthinking, my friend. You got this. Just make stuff. You make good stuff. It's dope. I've seen it myself. It's pretty. Just keep doing that. Just make happy. How about that? Make a sign for yourself that says, I make happy. You do not make perfect. Pollock and Picasso has proven you perfect is unnecessary. I think they're
Right.
both
And they come
ugly.
from theater, right? From live stage. Like when it's time to go, it's time to go. It's you prepared the best you can, right? And then that's it. Event life, we did what we could. Let's go have a good show.
It's easy.
That's
Now,
it.
let's remind you though, it is easy to fall into the idea of perfect. In being military, I'm used to having everything structured in the right way. Things belong where they belong. They are where they are. But I've come out of a plane at 18,000 feet and boom, 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 boom.
It didn't
boom.
work.
The chute didn't open. Oh, shit. All kind of stuff went through my head. And then somebody said, hey, dummy, you have one more between your legs. Vroom. And then you land.
I watched a video of somebody having to do that, and I just was like, Doug, that happened to Doug.
Yes, the best laid plans, bro. Plans is a 4-letter word. 5. I'm done. All right, everybody. We love you. Vicky, thank you for coming through. Listen, this lady with the 5K. Congratulations. All right. Hey, dude, listen. If you can get my art sold for $100 million, I will come and build you an art studio with like 1/4 of the process. I'll have you a robot that makes the most insane art. Listen, we in there. Family, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm gonna go set up to run my .05K because Taisha, she out here jumping on boxes and whatnot. Yesterday was shot day and I felt like crap, so I went to her stream and then I felt better after because they had me cracking up. Her crew is awesome people. So this is why you create. It wasn't about the content. It was about I needed to see people that's going through what I'm going through, and my shot hit me like Biggie when the la hits the system, and I just went to go in there to see what everybody was talking about, and I just felt better. Because that's what Ty does, right? So that's what you're supposed to do. Your content should just make people happy. So Vicky, I need to see that sign. You need to send me a picture that you made, even if you do it as a hostage collage where you just cut letters out of a magazine. You put a sign in your studio somewhere that just says "I create happy." That's it. And I need you to look at that every day.
Yes.
There you go. I just need the picture for me. How about that? All right. Love you, people. See you soon. Bye.